What is going on, guys? I'm Alejandro Mendoza, and today we got our first trailer for Digimon Adventure Try Our Future. So, since this is the first preview for the final movie of Digimon Adventure Try, just like all the other previous first trailers, it's pretty short, only being about 30 seconds long. And also, the synopsis for Digimon Adventure Try Our Future is also out, so I'll be going over that as well. But regardless, I'm excited to talk about this, so without further ado, let's get into discussing the first trailer for Our Future. So, to start things off, let's go through the synopsis first. And obviously, if you guys aren't aware, the synopsis is basically like kind of a basic summary of the plot of the movie. So, I'll go through that right now, because we've been given one. So, it starts by saying, the collapse of the world has begun. The rampaging Megumon has absorbed the dark Digivolved Gatomon and changed into the form of Digimon, who has an almighty power. As planned by Yggdrasil, the real world is about to be swallowed by the digital world. While despair and chaos approaches, the Digidestined continue to move forward. Now that Tai disappeared, Matt has stepped up to take his place. In order to save the world, there's something we must do. Gatomon encourages Matt, while Agumon still believes that Tai will surely be back. In order to deal with Digimon, who's gotten out of hand, Homeostasis moves to execute the final plan that involves the real world. In order to somehow stop the destruction, the Digidestined and the Digimon fight desperately. All the light is inside Megumon. Gatomon's voice reaches Kari, who's in despair, and so the Digidestined will make the final decision. Which future will the Digidestined choose? And once again, the adventure evolves. So from the synopsis, we can now confirm that apparently all of this, the reboot, the fusion between Ophanimon and Megumon, all of this seems to be Yggdrasil's plan. However, my question to this is, how the hell was Yggdrasil able to plan all of this? Like, first off, what caused Megumon and Ophanimon fall them on to fuse was Kari being in despair about Tai supposedly dying. But Tai dying, in quotation marks, was caused by Jesmon's attack, and Jesmon isn't working for Yggdrasil, Jesmon is working for Homeostasis. Now, Yggdrasil would likely be able to predict that Homeostasis would send someone to try and kill Megumon. Heck, Jedi during the last movie even said, "Thank you, Homeostasis," and seemed to know that Homeostasis would send someone. But even so, Homeostasis could have sent any Digimon. Yggdrasil wouldn't know that it would be Jesmon that Homeostasis would be sending. And he wouldn't know that Jesmon would use that ultimate attack of his that caused the ground to break around Tai. Here's what I think that Yggdrasil would have to be thinking when all this was happening. It would be like, okay, Megumon is going on a rampage. If Homeostasis sends Jesmon, I will be one step closer to achieving my plan, but if Homeostasis doesn't, then my plan will fail. If Homeostasis then sends Jesmon and the Digidestined, along with Jesmon and Megumon... if Homeostasis then sends Jesmon, and the Digidestined, along with Jesmon and Megumon, return to the digital world, then I will send Alphamon because, yes, I still think that Alphamon and Yggdrasil are working together. Then as the fight progresses, if Jesmon decides to use his ultimate attack, Alphamon will intercept it and cause it to hit the ground. Finally, if the Digidestined are dumb enough to run out into the battlefield, because that's honestly the entire reason why Tai fell into the ground, because if Mako hadn't run out into the battlefield, then Tai and Matt would have chased her, and then they would have been safe, just like the other Digidestined were from the crumbling ground. But moving on, the ground will come up underneath them, and hopefully Tai will fall into the ground. If Tai dies, in quotation marks, Kari will then fall into despair and it will cause a dark Digivolution. Then hopefully, somehow Megumon and Ophanimon will fuse and become the destroyer of the real world. That's another thing, how would Yggdrasil know that Ophanimon and Megumon would be capable of fusing with one another? Alright, so now that I have gone through the errors in what is supposed to be all of Yggdrasil's plan, let's get into the trailer. Don't worry, I'll get back to the synopsis since there are still a few more things worth addressing in it, but right now I want to get to the trailer. So, the trailer starts off with a shot of Agumon eating, and based on the synopsis for the movie, right here, Agumon is probably trying to reassure everyone that Tai will be back. Following this, we get a still shot of the Digidestined, excluding Takeru and Hikari, all of whom have determined or serious looks on their face except for Mako, who in contrast to them, looks filled with doubt. And I know it's a small thing, but I can't help but wonder why they left TK and Kari out of the shot. They're obviously probably still nearby to the group, but maybe it's that TK is trying to comfort Kari about what happened with Gatomon or Tailmon, and the others don't want to interfere. And I know that would make a lot of TK and Kari shippers go crazy. But anyway, moving on, we then see that fusion Digimon of Ophanimon and Mekumon. And it's obviously, its name is Ordinamon, since we found out. And from what we see, it looks like Ordinamon is enveloping the entire world in darkness, similar to what Malamyotismon or Belial Vamdemon did. And then, the next thing you know, it turns out that Mekumon or Gatomon has been possessed by Myotismon's spirit this whole time, and that it was really him all along. I'm just joking, obviously, but geez, just imagine it if they decided to bring Myotismon back for a third time. After the shot of Ordinamon, we then see what looks to be Matt and Gabumon talking. From the looks of it, this is likely where Gabumon reassures Matt. We then get the scene between Hikari and Gatomon, where Gatomon is reaching out to Kari, and as Gatomon is doing so, she appears to be digitizing or something similar to that. So, this seems to be the part where Gatomon's voice reaches Kari. I am curious, however, to how exactly that this is going to work, since right now, Gatomon is obviously a part of Ordinamon, and, it'll probably be explained by, saying something like, Kari and Gatomon's bond is so strong that Gatomon was able to reach Kari telepathically. Although, who knows? Maybe Wizardmon will have something to do with Gatomon's voice reaching Kari. After all, in the poster for our future, we do see Wizardmon's hat. Maybe his role in the movie is to help Gatomon's voice reach Kari. There are a few more shots after this of Ordinamon, and one shot of Matt wearing Ty's goggles. And that's something I'm actually also curious to see, is how Matt being the leader, at least temporarily, is going to work. After all, he's always been the polar opposite to Tai, and they always fought a lot because of that and other reasons. The trailer then ends with a shot of two Digivices glowing. And those two Digivices, I'm pretty sure they're Matt and Ty's. Based on the color of their hands, I'm pretty sure it's Ty and Matt. Overall, though, not really too much to talk about, considering this was a very short clip. But I will say that this trailer did get me pretty pumped for the next movie, because it seems, at least at the moment, that this movie will have some focus on Kari. And I'm really happy about that, because Kari deserves some screen time, especially after the last movie, where it basically completely focused on Mako, and Kari only got the spotlight at the very end. But, who knows? The writers could just be jerks and making it seem like Kari will get screen time and development, but then when the movie is released, Kari will once again be sidelined by Mako or someone else. And, I don't mean to be harping on Mako if I am. It's just that while I don't dislike Mako, I think that her character has gotten more than enough screen time. And, she's obviously going to have some involvement in the movie, since Ordinamon is the fusion between Gatomon and Mekumon, but I just hope there isn't too much of an emphasis on her. Although this is Try, so there's probably going to be a lot of screen time for Mako regardless. Also, I feel that during Symbiosis, Mako got some development, and that while her character arc may not be done yet, it feels that she at least got some resolution to it during the last movie. So, writers of Try, just please don't put too much emphasis on Mako. Now, getting back to the synopsis, another important thing to note about it is that it states that homeostasis is moving to execute its final plan that involves the real world. Based on the fact that it involves the real world, I would guess that homeostasis' plan probably has something to do with severing the tie between the real world and the digital world, since the two are obviously connected to one another. And because of that, maybe we could get an ending like Digimon Tamers, where the Digimon go back to the digital world, and apparently the gate between the worlds is now closed. But then, Tai, Kari, or somebody finds a portal that may lead back to the digital world. But that's just kind of a wild guess. I just thought that was interesting to note. And finally, there is still one more thing I want to talk about, and that's, of course, that in the trailer and in the synopsis, there's still no mention of the O2 cast. Personally, I'm just hoping that they just show up at least during the end of our future. But at this point, the writers could just keep ignoring them, which by now I'm pretty sure everyone is fed up with. Because just say, even if you're not a fan of O2 or of the O2 Digidestined, it's not a matter of whether or not you like them, it's just a matter of good and bad writing. Because if the writers had said that Try was going to be a version of Digimon Adventure where O2 never happened, then at least we would understand why the O2 Digidestined minus TK and Kari aren't there, and why Tai and the others aren't really reacting to the fact that that four of their friends are missing. But the writers did decide to put the O2 cast in Try, and to have O2 be canon to the story. And like, I'm not saying like things aren't susceptible to change, because like, if the writers really wanted to, they could obviously change the epilogue. But even so, O2 itself, excluding possibly the epilogue, is still canon. And even if they did decide to change the epilogue, I highly doubt they would change it so drastically to the point where the O2 cast are all dead or missing. But those are just my thoughts on the whole O2 situation right now. And who knows? Maybe homeostasis' plan that involves the real world has something to do with the missing O2 cast. I mean, I doubt it, but who knows? Maybe. Anyways, tell me in the comments down below what you thought of the trailer, and that if it got you hyped up for the next movie. Also, do you think that the O2 cast will appear at all in the final Try movie? Obviously, the next one. Personally, while I am holding out hope that they will show up, I'm just not so sure anymore. Although that is only talking about Try. Who knows? Maybe Digimon Adventure Try will get a sequel. That would be awesome. I'm not sure, but that would be awesome. But anyways, this is going to be the end of the video. So, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, maybe leave a like. And if you're enjoying the content I'm producing, maybe consider subscribing. And if you're already subscribed, then thank you. You guys are awesome. And even... What is going on, guys? I'm Alejandro Mendoza. And today, we got our first trailer for Digimon Adventure Try Our Future. So, since this is the first preview for the final movie of Digimon Adventure Try,